Hello. How are you,
Hi,
Laura?
I'm doing well. Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing out there?
Good. I'm doing good out here. It is Wine
Good.
Wednesday, so cheers to you today.
Salud. Yes, it is Wine
Yes.
Wednesday.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Today was a long day at work, so
It's
I needed that glass of wine there tonight. So
Oh, I hear you. It's been a
yes.
crazy week on this end too. And then today, I mean, here we are in South Texas and it's cold outside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, what's going on? Yesterday was like the first day of spring. Today's like the official first day of spring, and it's like I was cold, and my dogs were cold, and I was like, should I turn on the heater? I was like, oh my gosh.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, it's
it's
been
weird.
cold.
It was like 27 degrees when I went to work, but then at lunchtime I had to go out and go to another building and it was like 88 degrees. I don't know. It was so odd. I
Yeah,
had too many
it's
layers
it's
on.
it's nuts.
It's
I was like, I
crazy.
had a jacket on earlier, here in the house, just like a hoodie, because I was trying to keep warm. And then, like I said, I saw my dogs and they looked like they're trembling. And I'm like, okay, let me turn
Aw,
on the heat for these poor dogs. So I don't know.
I know.
It's
It's
nuts. The weather is nuts.
crazy weather patterns. Well, we are talking today about some serious stuff too. We're not just talking about the weather, but we're actually going to
Yes.
talk today about retirement. Uh,
Yes.
it's a big subject that a lot of people are talking about. I actually saw, I don't know where I was, but I could see a little bit of the news and I was getting my nails done. I forgot I had to stop and get my nails done after work. And I
Mhm.
saw, I couldn't hear it, but I could just see, and they were talking about retirement on the news too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay,
Mhm.
exactly what we're talking about today. So
Isn't that interesting?
I
Yes.
know,
And
good timing.
and what this all kind of came about with that I went to a retirement party
Oh,
yesterday
right.
for one of my coworkers who's actually on my team. And
Okay.
I went and I was happy as can be. And I was like, but then all of a sudden I looked around the room and I thought, uh-oh, because he was hired before I was. So he
Oh,
was there when I started working there, but now
hmm.
he was gone, he's leaving. And then I looked around a little bit further and I thought there was only like maybe two or three other people like my age or a little bit older that maybe had been there before I got there or started
Okay.
after I got there. And I'm like, wait a minute, does
You're
this mean
next.
that, the next party is mine and I'm out the door?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I don't know. It kind of gave me a kind of a strange feeling, almost kind of like, wait a minute, I just never thought I would be, close to retirement. I don't know. In my
Well,
brain, I thought,
I
you
know.
know, but at the
Oh,
same time, they say, some people say, no, I'm going to work forever until, I
right.
drop dead or whatever. Well, don't do that,
Ugh,
right? I feel like, no,
horrible.
don't do that. I don't
No,
want to do that.
no.
Sure, I do want to retire, but by the same token, I don't think I could just sit home every day. I think that that would just kill me.
Right.
So I
Exactly.
think I would have to do something, at least a little part-time job. I'll be the greeter at Walmart, something. It's
Exactly.
like,
That's what my
yeah.
mom used to always say too. No, I
Oh,
think
really?
we are at the end of the baby boomers, as far as our time frame age wise. And so
Yeah.
I think a lot of people our age are coming to the same point in their life. And I think it's a good conversation to have because I think in the old days, I think people used to think that retirement meant that they were pushing you out of your job. They were saying, okay,
Yes.
you're too old to work anymore. But
Yeah.
I did some research on this topic and I was watching a man and he was talking about you should be so excited when a retirement comes because it's like the beginning of a new chapter in your life. And I hadn't
Okay.
thought about it that way. And I liked the way he put it.
Okay.
But one of
Yeah.
the things he said was to think about how some of us have very stressful jobs. Not me. I've just started a job and it's not stressful, but some
Well,
people
lucky
very
you.
not yet anyway, probably until I know what I'm doing. But some people have very stressful jobs. And he was saying that some people put off retirement because they're like, I'm going to work another year, another year, another year.
Yeah.
But if those years are stressful years, you also could be cutting off a year of your own life because of
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
stress. Because they say
Hmm.
that now stress is like just as deadly as smoking or,
Yes. Yes.
non-exercising or whatever.
That's so
So,
true. And the other thing that I saw about retirement is like some people say, no, I don't want to retire at 62 because if I retire at 67 or at 70 or whatever it is, I'll get a whole $100 more or whatever. So I want to wait.
oh,
But
from
then
Social
this one,
Security?
yes, I'm sorry, from
Okay.
Social Security. But
Okay.
this one gentleman was saying, don't do that because, yeah, at 62, your feelings still kind of vibrant and you can still move around. So you're going
Yes,
to continue working for another, 8 years or whatever, and for another $100. And when you get to that 70, you might not be feeling the
that's
same.
right, exactly. And what
So
if
you
Social
have
Security
to,
doesn't even exist anymore?
yeah. So
So
you kind of have to take that into account. Well, yeah, so you don't have the extra $100, but at least, you're still vital. You could go out, you could maybe travel, whatever it is that you're going to do. Now, I
exactly,
realize that, people say, yeah, you're retired or you can travel. Well, it takes money to travel,
right,
so,
right,
and nobody can live off of, well, I shouldn't say nobody, but people can live off of Social Security, but
sure,
things have changed. Things
right,
are expensive. So you have to be, I mean, we're already at a stage where we couldn't say, okay, we're going to go backwards and 50 years and start contributing more to a 401k or
right,
whatever retirement.
exactly,
I feel very fortunate that I do have a retirement with my company.
right.
So I feel very fortunate about that. So between that and Social Security, I should be okay. But yeah, I won't be able to travel around the world like every other day or
Well,
anything.
I
So
don't, most people probably don't, but I think it's, I visited a financial advisor. I did one last year with my bank, the Chase, and I did one about, I guess, about 15 years ago. My husband and I did one together, and it's really a good exercise because it helps you think, okay, I want to take this many vacations a year, and they're going to
yeah.
cost about this much money.
Mhm.
Okay, this is how much we have saved. Okay,
Right.
and it kind of leads you through the exercise of knowing exactly how much you need to have in order to
Yes.
do the things you want to do, and it helps you decide when you can retire. I was
It's
watching that man, and
that is so true. Hmm.
he was saying that he encourages people to try to pay off their house mortgage or loan by
Hmm.
the age 50, because then they have this whole new wealth of freedom financially, and also, freedom that they can do more things. And another thing he was saying was how important relationships are. And he was saying that obviously some of us have older, well, some of us, not us, but other people have older parents that may need care at this point in time.
Yeah.
So if you are able
Yeah.
to retire, then you're able to
Yeah.
help them as well. So
Yes.
he's saying keeping
Yes.
those relationships strong, or even with your grandkids. And of course, I moved across country to be near my grandkids, and that's how important it is to me. So
Mhm.
I did just recently go back to work, and I shared with you guys that I was struggling with being home. And I think it was because my husband was still working. So he was working, and it gave me a
Yes.
lot of free time, but I felt a little lost. I felt disconnected, and I felt like one of my passions has always been, serving, and definitely poverty and hunger and homelessness and all that has been a strong priority and passion for me. So when I found this organization that I could either retire or volunteer with or work for,
Hmm.
I chose
Hmm.
to start working with them. But
Hmm.
I think retirement is not something that's far in the future. I think when my husband decides that he's done and he's not going to work anymore, which I think it'll be a few more years, then I'm
Yeah.
ready to. I
Yeah.
definitely think
That'll
that
work. At least you'll both be retired, and then I think it'll be
that's
better for
enough.
you because just being retired by yourself and he's still working, then you kind of just
Exactly.
twiddling your thumbs there.
It
But
was a
I was
lot
going
of
to
free
say,
time.
yeah, I also met with a financial advisor about a couple of years
Oh,
ago,
okay.
and the same questions were asked. How many vacations would you like to take? Because I said that's one of my priorities when retirement. I want to be able to travel. And he
Right.
said, well, how many vacations would you like to take? So I explained to him, and he said, oh, okay, you'll be fine. And I was like, I'll be fine. I don't know why. I
That's
think I'd
good.
worry, because yeah, but he said, no, you'll be fine. So, but
That's
I
good.
still have a mortgage and, but oh well, we'll
Well,
see.
I think that's something that the man that I was watching actually said too. He said, you probably have enough money to retire. I think a lot of people keep thinking, let me work just one more year. Let me work another year just to make sure I
No,
have enough money.
no,
But sometimes they work too many years and then they die and they never spend that money. They never
that's right.
travel. Or they
That's
get, like
right.
you said, they
Because
get too ill to travel.
exactly. I mean, because it's not like, I mean, we have to be realistic. We're not going to get better or younger than we are, even
No,
though we feel good right now,
right.
but we don't know what's going to happen, in the future, 5, 10 years from now. So take advantage of your time right now, and do
Yep.
the things that you want to do, travel to wherever you want to travel, make the effort, go, 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 try the new things. So
Before it's too late. Exactly. That was one
yeah,
thing he said. That's something we can't get more of, time. It's
yes.
limited. It's,
Hmm.
we definitely have an end date, or,
Hmm.
and so it's coming,
Yeah.
and that's something we can't grow more of. So we have to
No.
make sure that we really treasure the amount of time we have left. Hey, this is kind of
Yeah.
a morbid conversation. Sorry
I
about that.
know, but you know what? It all started also because I went to that retirement party and it was
Right,
just like it kind of just hit me, like a bus. And I was like, wait a minute, when I looked around the room, there were so many young faces.
right,
And I thought, wait a minute, I used to be that person, that young person over there, but I'm
right.
not anymore. Now I'm with this group, and our group was like so much smaller. It shrunk, because there's
Yeah.
not that many of us. People are retiring. So that's when it kind of hit me. And I thought, okay, so what am I doing? What's my
Well,
goal here?
right. And maybe that is it, that we just prepare for it. So
Mhm.
preparing for it might mean that we start learning how to play pickleball. If that's something that you have
Yeah.
interest in or something, then you start learning how to play it. So that by the time we retire, we'll be good
It's
enough to
funny
play
you
in the
say that.
pros or something.
It's funny you
Just
say
kidding.
that because I was telling you my knee was hurting and I went to
Yeah.
go get something to rub on my knee. And
Right.
I thought, oh, I don't need to turn on the light in the bedroom. I know exactly where it's at. And when I went for it, it fell off the dresser, rolled under the bed to the middle of the bed. And I'm like, really? Now I got to get down on the bad knee to try and get it from under the bed. And I was like, oh my
I
gosh.
know.
But anyway, I got it.
Yes. That, it's another sign that we're getting older, all those things. In fact, I was having lunch with some girls and they were and one girl said, well, like I had to use my readers to look at the menu. She said, oh, I've got good eyesight. I said, you do right now. Just wait. It all goes downhill as
I
you get older.
know.
But
And it
it's
all
a good
happens
thing.
around your 50th birthday. It's like all of a sudden things
Yeah,
start to change. It's like, happy birthday, you're 50. Okay, your sight's going this. And it's like, wait a minute.
exactly.
But hey, we're still here. We're still vibrant and, we're happy to be here. So
That's right. Yeah.
we're going
And
to
I think there's
keep
nothing
going.
wrong with planning ahead and thinking about when do I want to retire? What do I want my retirement to look like? Even
Mhm.
writing down what are some of the bucket list things that I've never done before that I want to do. Like definitely
Yes.
we want to travel to go to Jamestown. We're going to do that. We
We're
want to go on
definitely
that
got to go to
wine.
Jamestown. Yeah. So if there's anybody out there from New York that's visited or has visited Jamestown, let
Mm,
us know because that is like on our bucket list. We've got to go there, and there's a reason why. If you
yes.
don't know, that's where the Lucy Museum is. The
Right.
Lucille Ball's museum is in Jamestown because that was her hometown.
And we love
So,
Lucy.
and we love Lucy. We are the biggest fans. So
Yes.
I still watch Lucy. My dog's name is Lucy. So we're going to get out there this year.
Yes. And I have a picture in my office here. You guys can't see it, but um my sister bought it for me when I opened the bakery and it was from my office there at the bakery. And it's the chocolate, the candy factory one with
Oh,
Lucy and
okay.
Ethel.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the lady behind her is going, speed it up like that. And they're like,
Oh, yeah.
so I look at that picture all the time. I mean, hilarious, of course. But we're
Anyway,
definitely going there. And we also want to
yes,
do the wine country tour.
yes,
We
in
go and do the
California,
wine
we want to
train.
do that. And
The
then
wine
we're getting
train.
out to Italy. We said that.
We're going to Italy,
So
yes.
passport is ready. So we're
Right.
out.
And we all just need to start putting down some wish list things. And, I know not everybody's adventurous. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, I would never travel to Italy. I've never traveled out of the country. I don't want to travel out of the country. That's fine. Even go to
You
the
don't
next
have to.
town over. Go to,
Yes, yes,
somewhere close by, just somewhere
yes,
different for yourself and just kind of see.
yes,
There's so many beautiful places to see and do, just
yes.
even here in the United States. So
Yeah, absolutely. Even just take that Sunday drive, around your city,
yeah,
around your town, wherever you're at. Everything's starting to blossom. Spring is in the air, so it's
right.
like the best time to take that road trip. That little Sunday drive, and just
That's
go
right.
for it. Yeah, and go get a burger in the next little town, and have a milkshake for me because I've been wanting a milkshake. So have one for me, guys.
Milkshake. Oh
Yeah,
my goodness. That
yeah,
reminds me of when I think it was my fourth grade teacher used to read Little House on the Prairie to us and the books. And I remember like Laura and her boyfriend would ride in the stagecoach or whatever through the hills, and it was always on Sunday after church. And I could just see that picture in my mind of them riding through the horse and buggy is what they
yeah.
call it, yes. And so
How fun.
I still think
Well,
about that when you say a Sunday drive. I'm thinking in the horse and buggy, right?
Well, not exactly, but hey, if you've got a horse and buggy, do it.
No, we don't.
Friends, thank you so much for joining us. We love when you're here with us. We love chatting with you. And this is just something that was happening with me, with Elva this week, just talking about retirement. So just kind of wanted to pass that along to you.
Yeah.
But don't forget to leave us a comment. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell your friends we're here. And if there's anything that you would like for us to talk about or cook or bake or, or not bake, well,
Hey, you didn't tell them what happened to your baking. Your
I didn't tell you guys.
No.
I know if you saw the last video that went so terribly wrong. In the end, I did put it in the oven, and then I said, well, I'll just put it in the oven. I'll put the timer on. I'm gonna go lay down for a little bit. I won't fall asleep. Well, guess what? I fell asleep. I fell asleep, and then I woke up, and when you wake up and you're like, what's that smell? What's that smell?
What's that bad smell?
Yeah, it was burnt. Everything was burnt. I mean, the whole house smelled terrible. So I had to literally pack it up. I don't know what time it was, probably about 2 a.m. And I took it outside to the trash. I know,
oh my God.
I had to take it outside to the trash can because it smelled so bad. And I was like, oh my God, the dogs are looking at me like, oh my God, are you trying to bake again? But anyway, we'll try that again. And the next time will be better because you know what? You have to try again to succeed, right? So no matter what you're doing, if you don't get it right the first time, don't worry about it. You can try again. So I'm telling that to myself.
You're right. And if you are retired, tell us what you do. Tell us how you entered into retirement.
Yes.
We need that support because both Nora and I are headed that way in a few years. So when do you think you'll retire, Nora?
Maybe about a couple of years, I guess.
2 years?
Well, you know something. This is crazy because my birthday's coming up, right, in April.
Yeah, that's right.
And so for the longest time, I've been telling people that I'm 62, but I'm not 62. I'm 61.
Right, you're still 61.
Yeah,
you're 61 and 3/4.
Well, everybody already thinks that. So now I'm going to have to say, they're going to say, wait a minute, you can't be 62 again. It's going to be your birthday. I'm like, I thought I was 62, so I told everybody I was 60, but I'm not. Anyway.
Oh, by the way, I'll tell you real quick before we let everybody go and let ourselves go. It said that the average of retirement age is 64, but then also Mass Mutual did a survey and they said between 62 and 63. So you're about to hit that 62. So
again, because I already thought it was 62.
That's okay. That's okay. So that means we are like a year and a half away at the moment.
There you go.
So that's exciting. Let's think about it as exciting instead of like bad.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just a new chapter, as you said. It's just something new. It'll be great. Yes.
That's right.
So have a wonderful week, Elva. Have a wonderful week, everybody out there. And again, leave us a comment. Talk to us. We like to hear what you have to say. I listen to everything, and I actually respond back to everybody. So, but yeah, like and subscribe. Tell your friends we're here.
Yes, and we can't wait to hear about your retirement, what you're doing, and if you're not at that age yet, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
just save your money. Do good 401k or something like that, so you'll be prepared for it in the future. So
because it comes quick.
Yes, that definitely. All right, take care.
Bye guys.
Bye, Nora.
Adios. Bye, Elva.
Good talking to you.
Salud.
Salud.